Hello? Hello? Naren, thank you for the prime. Hello, did we all watch Afterlife episode 1 today? Hello, did we all watch Afterlife episode 1 today? Because I'm wearing the same sweater. Because I don't own other clothes. Hello, are you doing another animal review? No, but I might read more, I got it. I'm gonna read more Am I the Asshole? Because it was so much fun. Oh, I didn't get it. Sophie, Texas, thank you for subscribing. There's a cat hair. There's a cat hair. There's a cat hair I can't find. Oh, this is the worst. This is actually the worst. I got it. Now I got it. Felix, thank you for the 100 bits. Welcome. Hello. Hello. Hi. What's up? I'm actually only going to be live for like an hour or an hour and a half today, even though that's what I said was going to happen yesterday, and I ended up being live for 6 hours reading Am I the Assholes, because honestly, that's the most fun I've ever had. It's my favorite thing to do. Is it not so much fun? Also, most of the people are the asshole. Actually, no. Most of the people writing the stories are not the asshole. But most of the people writing the stories know that they're not the asshole, but they want validation, and I'm here to give it to them. I'm going to read some messy Am I the Assholes, because those are the fun ones. Those are the best ones, the messy ones. And then we get to weigh in on somebody's life that we don't know them personally. And there's probably way more complexities to each and every one of these stories because it involves all very complex individuals. But we're just going to look at the surface problem and judge them. Can you name everyone in Afterlife? I will not. However, if you go to my video on my channel, I have every name of everybody's channels in the description. Sometimes I scroll through the determined asshole tag. That's why I kept only reading the ones that were already declared assholes, because I was like, I want to read one where someone genuinely didn't think they were the asshole, put it on Reddit, and then everyone participated in letting them know, nope, you're the asshole. And I just wonder what happens after that for them. Like, hopefully some self-reflection. Minty Swirl, thank you for the prime. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. When does your merch come out? Sometime next month, I think. Either the end of this month or next month. So many of them are dudes being dumb. We read so many relationship ones where it's like a lot of unawareness or just communication. Bad communication on both parties, honestly, in most of them. Anytime it was a relationship problem, it was bad communication. But dude, we're gonna read some messy ones today. Only for a little while. I said I was only gonna do a short stream yesterday, and then we started reading Am I the Assholes, and I was live for 6 hours, and I almost kept going because I really didn't want to stop. It was so much fun. So now we're gonna do it again. But only for a little while. Only a little short bit. Get the spicy ones. I opened a few tabs of a couple of ones that look like they might be a good level of spice for our liking. Also, did you see my new keyboard? Great news is no neck crack. For who? That was it. That was all. I only had the one side. I always have a neck crack. Look at this beauty. Look at her. I have a couple things I need to fix about it because a couple of the keys slam down so hard they're really, really loud. Look how pretty. I love it so much. Ugh. The space bar is super, super clunky and loud. So what I did is I ordered a couple of white Velcro strips. I'm going to use the soft side and just slip it underneath the space bar so that it's a bit obnoxious, a little bit obnoxious. Some of the keys are a little bit squeaky. I think these are things that I can get in there and fix. But I like it. Let me write a little notepad. The regular keys themselves are super soft and really, really nice. What the fuck was that? And was that a neck crack? Yeah, that was a neck crack. I cracked my neck really loud. What do I write? What do I write, honestly? I will be doing an apartment tour one day eventually. I felt that neck crack in my soul. I've had louder ones too. I honestly feel bad because I know some people get like really grossed out hearing the sound of the cracking of anything. This is not a safe space for those people. Can't get the last one. You should go to a chiropractor. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It just does that sometimes. What's the little drawing in your left corner? My left or your left? I don't know what drawing we're talking about. I'm not really sure. We're gonna read some Am I the Assholes? And we're gonna determine who we feel was the asshole. Let me read a few titles. Let's see which one sounds the juiciest. Can I stress how much I'm so excited to wash my hair tomorrow, because I couldn't do anything with it today and it's so flat. And I put a clip and I put another clip, a green one, but I hate it. I wanted to wash it, but I'm not allowed. And I hate it. Chiropractor is satisfying. You know what? I wouldn't mind having my back cracked, though. Did you read the one I sent last night? I did not see it. I didn't see it. I didn't know. But we'll read the ones that are here. This is what I'm going to do anytime I do a chatting stream. But don't worry. Sunday, we're going to do unpacking, maybe? Or what we can do now that the series has started, we can do afterlife streams, because I'm going to do some afterlife streams. We're going to do unpacking in the choices stream soon, next week. Doodleheimer, thank you for gifting a sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Let's get into it. I think I'm going to do one more afterlife episode doing my house for this origin that I have. And make that a YouTube video before I start streaming, because I want to do a lot of content just on YouTube for afterlife. But I will do some streams of like material gathering, building, stuff like that. What day do you go to France? I'm leaving for France on the 10th. And then I will be in the UK for a little while after that. Afterlife is a new Minecraft series. Go check out my YouTube channel. The first episode is live. And it's so much fun. And I'm Shadow Girl. My origin's Shadow Walker for now. We'll see how long that one lasts. All right. Let's hear some of these titles. Yeah, with Scott. It's the same afterlife. Instead of Shadow Girl, how does Void sound? Well, I was named by Joey Shadow Girl. But listen, if we want to take this origin on this server as my official Void Shubble arc, I'd be okay with that. Just keep in mind, we're not keeping the origin. I'm going to die eventually. And then I'll get another one. And I hope at some point in my 10 lives, I get the mushroom one, because I honestly, my jaw dropped when I found out Megan got it. And then she uses, I was going to make it for her, but she ended up doing it herself. She used the hat and boots from Shrub Skin and put it on her skin, and it looks so cute. It looks so cute. Okay. There's a lot of good origins for the first round, too. And then when we start dying, we're going to get all kinds of different change-ups. I'm excited because there's a lot in there. There's a lot of origins in the pack. There's like 30 that we have on the server or something. All right. Here's some titles for us. Before I hiccup. Am I the asshole for refusing to add my ex-husband's name to the title of the bookshop I inherited from my father? I'm going to go ahead and just say no on that one. I'm going to say no, you're not the asshole, and I don't know how you would be. Am I the asshole for saying a little kid ruined the youth group trip? That one might be spicy, but also, I don't want to make fun of a little kid, actually. Am I the asshole for calling my brother a sore, slow loser? That could be spicy. Am I the asshole for asking my stepmom to keep her kid from licking me? Maybe. Am I the asshole for not wanting to take up my sister's offer to cook for my kids? Did I say not again? Because I keep adding not places where it's not there. Am I the asshole for wanting to take up my sister's offer to cook for my kids instead of my wife? I'm going to read that one. But we also have, am I the asshole for telling my friend her boyfriend is not allowed at my wedding? I definitely want to read that one. Those ones, all the wedding ones of someone not being allowed to go are really, really spicy. Am I the asshole for revoking an opportunity because the guy used it to hit on women? I'm going to read that one too. I can't wait for that one. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife with our daughter without notice when she said I couldn't go on vacation? That sounds really messy. That one sounds really especially messy. Hannah, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Is Afterlife a roleplay server? It's an SMP. People can roleplay and people might not. They might do it loosely. SMPs, like Empires was a roleplay one, but it also wasn't like strictly, I've never played on an SMP that was strict with rules that you have to role play. We do for fun because it's fun, but it's not a server made for that or anything like that. We're just going through 10 lives with 10 different origins because it's fun and going to be a good time. And every time we get a new origin, we might play a little character every once in a while, but like not really a major part of the SMP, I guess. Okay. I don't know about this one. Leaving your wife with your daughter without notice, that already, you're setting yourself up for failure. These titles mean a lot. There's a lot of context in simply how the person phrases their own title. Because some people put, am I the asshole for doing this really nice thing? And we're all here like, that's not what happened. That's definitely not what happened. Am I the asshole? My boyfriend hasn't worked in months following an admittedly difficult incident at work, but I keep coming home to him not making any effort to find a job. I finally told him he needed to find work. This is how you write a title. You put all of the issues in the title. And it blew up into a huge fight about how I don't care about him. We already did one like that. Literally, we did one exactly that, where the guy didn't want to he was literally offered a promotion and didn't want to take it because he wanted to have more free time, but then he called his girlfriend lazy for not wanting to take her get a new job at a new company for more money because she liked the company she worked for and was making more money than him. So we're not going to read that one because you're not the asshole your boyfriend is. Okay. Do you use light mode? On what? Some things I do, some things I don't. And I'm not going to sit here and let anyone shame me for using light mode because it's literally to help people who have issues with their eyes. So suck it. My phone's in light mode. My Twitch is in dark mode. Does Reddit have dark mode? Because I don't have a Reddit. And if there's a Reddit dark mode, I'm definitely not using it. And I will not be shamed for it. People who have issues with their eyes need these settings, people. And I'm so over people saying, gross, you use light mode? What's wrong with you? Bite me. Some people it's literally an accessibility setting. It's not even, it is your preference, but it's also an accessibility setting. And I'm so tired of people making fun of me when I post stupid text screenshot and they're like, ew, it's in light mode. Read the text. It's funny. Please stop shaming me. I have sensitive eyes. I can't see with my sensitive eyes. Am I the asshole for wanting to take up my sister's offer to cook for my kids instead of my wife? I can't wait to find out why one of these two people has to be doing it and you can't. But some dynamics, that might be the situation we're in. But also, someone thinks you're an asshole here, so we're going to find out. Okay. All right. Okay. I, 33 male, have a wife, 29 female, who's a stay-at-home mom. Okay, this is the story we're starting with. Is a stay-at-home mom to our two kids, two boys, aged 2 and 5. We got married a little over 6 years ago, and my wife has always been adamant on being a stay-at-home mom. Mum, by the way. They're British, which is so funny. I love reading mum. I didn't mind it at all, as I was and still am making enough to get us by comfortably. Okay, so this was her choice. She wanted to do this. This is good. We have a full-time nanny. Oh my God, you're making very good money. You have a nanny, a full-time nanny, and a housekeeper. So realistically, my wife doesn't ever have to cook, clean, or even take care of the kids much. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind that. If she doesn't have to struggle, why would she need to? Okay, this is not going where I thought it would be going. Anyway, our housekeeper left on a family emergency 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure when she'll be back, but I don't intend on replacing her, and she said she'll be back soon. So we've had to cook for ourselves these past 2 weeks. I cook dinner and my wife cooks breakfasts and lunch for the kids. The problem is she's been feeding the kids nothing but junk food these past 2 weeks. I'm not exaggerating. This is what an everyday breakfast and lunch looks like for my kids. Breakfast, sugary cereal. That's it. Okay, but I ate like that as a kid too. I ate cereal every morning and they weren't good ones. I would eat Reese's Puffs and I would eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The worst. And that was my breakfast every morning. I turned out fine. Maybe it wasn't good for me, but I turned out okay. Lunch, hot dogs, fries with pre-made nuggets. I mean, it's only for 2 weeks. That's not really that bad. He said junk, and he said I'm not exaggerating. Then he said cereal and hot dogs. That's not that bad. I mean, hot dogs are questionable ingredients-wise. And cereal, wait. They're not American. Does the UK even have like a sugary cereal problem like we do? Because you guys have more regulation on it, don't you? Like at least a little bit. Maybe it's sugary, but I wouldn't think it was as bad as what we have here. They're in the UK. They are not American. So their cereal's probably not even anything comparable to ours. This isn't that bad. It's chicken nuggets, French fries, and hot dogs. What are they usually eating? Like a 4-course meal? They do have like a housekeeper and a nanny. I would eat like this as a kid. I get maybe the same thing every day. Like all of the day, every day. But it's only been 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks, right? I don't know. Might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I still understand that, you know, she hasn't had to do any of these things and you're both doing cooking for different meals and maybe you're concerned that the health of your children is at risk now. But I would eat cereal every morning. I would eat Reese's Puffs of all cereal every morning. And that's like school lunch. School lunch is not good. Maybe toss an apple in there or something. I don't know. Hot dogs, fries with pre-made nuggets. I think emphasis on the fact that because the nuggets are frozen is a problem, which I get it. Frozen food all the time is not that great. But again, it's only for 2 weeks. The only normal meals they have are dinner when I cook home. When I get home to cook. I mean, what do you consider normal? Because I thought hot dogs and nuggets and fries was a very normal children's meal. It's also just the lunch. They're having like a good balanced dinner with, I bet, vegetables. And this is not that bad. He said he wasn't exaggerating. Daniel, I was on his side until he said hot dogs and cereal. Daniel, thank you for the prime. I really appreciate it. Dude, Reese's Puff cereal is the best, and they also have the best theme song, and I'll die on that hill. They are so good, and I still love them, and I think I still have some in my cabinet. The sugar in it, probably not great, but I would love to know what they were eating before, but I really don't think it's that bad. Like, it's not like he didn't even add, like, there's no chips. There's no, like, I thought the lunch was going to be literally bags of chips. That's when he said she's been giving them junk food, and I'm not exaggerating. Nothing but junk. Okay. All right. I'm a quite healthy person, and so is my wife. So I've been really confused recently. I brought it up with my wife, and I wonder where she's from. Is she also from the UK? What did she eat as a kid? Also, if you grew up without a lot of money, that's what you eat. Hot dogs and chicken nuggets that are frozen. And it's not that bad. It's that bad. But you know what? You don't really get to judge, in my opinion. I brought it up with my wife and asked if she could maybe prepare food that has a bit more nutritional value for the kids and make the junk food once in a while kind of a thing. She said the kids love it, so what's the problem? That's not a really great defense, though, on her part. You have a good defense. You didn't use it, though, so I don't know what your kids love cake. You don't feed them cake every meal, right? Okay, but she's still all right. I think Wendy Hoog, thank you for subscribing, and Cooin Cahoon, thank you for the 500 bits. Thank you so much. Obviously kids will love what's not good for them. Doesn't mean they should have it all the time. I decided not to push it. Okay, yeah, she just used a really poor defense, but I still think she's not wrong. It's also been 2 weeks only. I don't know. I never ate healthy as a kid. I did not eat good. I don't know how I got away with it. Fast metabolism and a little bit of a thyroid problem, probably. A few days ago, my wife's friends came over and she cooked an entire gourmet meal for them. When they left, I asked her why she couldn't give her kids the same effort or even half the effort. You really don't have to put that effort into lunch, dude. It's just lunch. She's not even doing dinner. You don't have to do a gourmet meal for lunch for your kid. Am I the asshole that I'm like, no, you don't have to put in even half the effort of a gourmet meal for lunch all the time. It's also over 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. They're going to go back to their nanny and their housekeeper. This is rich people problems. Okay. When they left, I asked her, okay. She said I'm getting on her nerves the way I'm undermining what she thinks is okay for her kids. I got so mad and told her they're my kids too, and if she doesn't want to take care of their health, she should just say so I can look for alternatives. Ooh, that's... Yikes. I called my sister to ask if she could get us a stand-in chef for a few weeks. A chef? What does he do for a living? I'm just curious. I just want to know. Should I be going back to school and be doing what you're doing? Because I want to know what you're doing. They're going to get a chef for a few weeks. But she instead it's only literally been going to be like 1 month. But she instead offered to cook both breakfast and lunch for the kids since she lives down the road. Okay, that's his sister. I told her I'll get back to her once I ask my wife. Although I was still livid with her, I asked if she was okay with the arrangements, and she started shouting at the top of her lungs about how I don't respect her as a mother. He's gonna get a chef for a month so that his kids don't have to eat hot dogs. Bro. It's not that bad. He said he wasn't exaggerating. This man doesn't... Have you had a hot dog once? Maybe. How about a nugget? You ever have a chicken nugget ever? Oh my God. I'm genuinely so fed up. What was I supposed to do? Let my kids eat that crap every day till the housekeeper gets back? Yeah. I could argue, like, yeah, maybe toss in some fruit. Maybe if it's literally hot dogs and fries every single day for a month, that might get old. Maybe a little bit more variety. But there isn't necessarily anything wrong with the hot dog or the chicken nuggets and fries. Give them a salad with it every once in a while. Get some mac and cheese sometimes as a side with the nuggets instead of what it sounds like is hot dogs and nuggets together. That's a little weird, but I'm not going to judge. It's still fine. They are not going to die. Their health is not an immediate concern because they're eating hot dogs for a month for lunch. But yeah, throw in some fruit. But that, this response from the husband's a bit extreme to be like, if you can't take care of our children properly, I'm going to get a professional chef to cook better meals for them. You could have said, hey, do you mind if you toss in some fruit? Because I feel like they're eating a little bit poorly and, I'm a bit of a health freak and there's nothing wrong with how you're feeding them, but maybe just some fruit every once in a while and a salad. That's not what he said, though. That's not how he said that. Get a cookbook? I mean, I don't think the issue is that she can't cook. Because she can, but she's making very normal children's meals, I feel like. Like, these are kids and it's lunch. To me, in my brain, there's a big difference between lunch and dinner. They're having a really healthy, well-balanced dinner. Lunch is supposed to be nuggets and fries and mac and cheese sometimes. Maybe just buy some fruit. They're getting their veggies and stuff at dinner. You know what I used to have as a fruit every single night? That was a good routine. We would have breakfast was our cereal. I don't see what his problem with that is. I get it if it's like a really bad sugary one, but they're not even in America. So they're in the UK. There's definitely stricter regulations on how much sugar can even be in there. And ours is definitely worse. And I ate that every morning. And then I would, without milk too. All of me and my siblings would eat cereal out of a cup with a spoon with no milk. I don't know why it had to be in a cup. That was just how we did it. Lunch was, if I wasn't in school, it was literally chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, fries, frozen stuff. Literally always frozen stuff. I was not. We didn't have a lot of money, so this is how you eat lunch. And then dinner was when my mom would do a side salad. She'd have a vegetable always with it. We'd have good full meals. Honestly, our dinners were not even that good either, because sometimes we'd have pasta with garlic bread. And I don't recall there always being a vegetable when we would eat this for dinner. I turned out just fine. As long as you have some balance at some point and it's only a temporary situation that they're in, hot dogs and chicken nuggets is not that bad. I mean, where are you buying these And they're in the UK, so it can't... If it was in America, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know what's in that stuff sometimes. But I don't really know. New Jersey Italian meals are the best. It's just pasta, cheese, and bread. And not a vegetable in sight. And you know what? That doesn't work for everybody, but it doesn't sound like the kids are actually in any kind of immediate need. Their health is not going to... In 1 month of eating hot dogs for lunch, they're going to be okay. I don't know. Okay, let me read the comments, because that one is not what I expected to happen. I thought I was going to end up being on... So this was a roller coaster, because from the title, I thought I would be on the wife's side. Halfway through the story... Until the hot dogs were mentioned, I was on the husband's side. And now I'm back on the wife's side. And there could have been a much nicer conversation of like, maybe have a fruit sometimes. Maybe change it up a little bit. Because I'm just getting a little concerned. But I do believe that you can parent our children just fine. Maybe something like that. Maybe something in that vein. Everyone sucks here is what Reddit decided. The help takes some time off and the rich people implode. It's such a rich people problem. They're eating junk, and I'm not exaggerating. Every morning they have cereal. And every lunch they have chicken nuggets and fries. I need to get a chef to take care of this situation. I also genuinely really want to know what he does, because, like, I want to make money like that. What are you doing? I want to know. I want to do it. Let me do it. Ooh, the replies get spicier than the actual story. Why does he suck for expecting his stay-at-home wife to do a very few stay-at-home duties while the help is gone, in quotes. Obviously, the joke was saying rich people call, if he was truly rich, he would be working 6 days a week at 11 hours apiece. That's not what? It is true that if she isn't usually doing any of these things, it is a small ask, but she is doing it. She's doing it. And also, if he was truly rich, he would be working 6 days a week at 11 hours apiece. What rich person works 6 days a week, 11 hours apiece? I have doubts here, my dude. I have doubts. Rick Snicks, thank you for the Prime. Thank you so much. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know. Now the comments are going back and forth about how the rich they implode when they're nannies and I have so many hiccups. Nannies and housekeepers take time off, and then someone else is like, I love when the poors get pissed off. It's hot dogs and chicken nuggets, and it's not even that deep. All right. I think there might be a little bit of everyone sucks here, because it is a small ask of like a few weeks to do a couple of meals for the kids that you've never had to do before, because this man has a job that is able to pay for housekeepers and nannies, and you want to be able to stay home with your kids because that's something that means a lot to you. But you're also doing it. Like, you're doing it, and it's okay that you're doing it with chicken nuggets and hot dogs. But I don't like that he said junk food, and I'm not exaggerating, and then proceeded to list regular food. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife with our daughter without notice when I said I couldn't go on vacation? This sounds messy. I, 32 male, am a... What's WFH? What does WFH mean? They both suck, but the husband sucks more. Because she doesn't really suck that much. Because she's doing it. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with what she's making. But, like, I don't know. It is the only thing that she's had to do for them, I guess. Work from home. Work from home. Work from home. I, 32 male, am a work from home father. Even before COVID, I was, because I do freelance programming and web design. Due to the relatively non-time sensitive nature of my work, I'm able to mix taking care of our child, 6 female, with doing my job. I also point out that I make roughly $120,000 a year. My wife, 34 female, is a vet tech and makes roughly $42K a year. That's criminally low. For what? I feel like that's criminally low. Vet tech? They're not a vet, right? A vet tech. What is a vet tech's job? Do they still go through the schooling that a vet does? Because that's a doctor. That's a doctor, but for animals, kind of. Maybe not quite doctor for people level, but doctor for animal level, which is still high. Or is she doing like technical stuff that isn't actually having to go to school to do the vet stuff? Still $42,000 a year. I don't know. I don't know anything about this career. Sounds low though. I think you should pay her more. The problem is that my wife has always seen work from home as being the same as stay-at-home father. Ooh, no, that's not what that means. You are home, but you are working. You are allowed to respect the hours of work, even if you are in your own home. Vet tech is still schooling, but not as much schooling as a vet. Still sounds like they should pay her more. I just think they should pay everyone more. She thinks that because she goes into an office and I sit at the PC in sweatpants that her job is more valid than mine. Ooh, that's not fair. That's not fair. She spends her weekends going out with friends or lying around. We get date nights roughly every week, during the week, and during the weekend, roughly twice a month. She seems to think that since I'm stay at home, all the childcare and cleaning should fall on me. She does nothing on the weekends. I cook 95% of the meals for our family. These are heavily involved meals. When my wife cooks, she throws things in the crock pot and walks away. That's valid too, though. Let's not shame this woman for finding an easier way to cook with a crock pot, because I love my crock pot. I'm a lady who loves her crock pot, and I will damn well put some ingredients in there, walk away for 6 hours. I'm going to have a healthy cooked meal when I'm done working. So I'm on your side, dude, but you have absolutely no point You don't have a valid point with saying that she doesn't work hard to cook food because she puts it in a crock pot. Maybe she's smarter than you. But also invalidating that he's working from home and considering that he should be doing the cleaning and cooking because he's home is not fair. All of this to say that while our personal relationship is very good, when it comes to domestic work, my actual job, my wife does not treat me as a partner, and I haven't had a weekend to myself in what seems like years. She's sounding like the asshole, but also don't shame the crock pot. You try it sometime, maybe. You try. You could pop some food in there too and walk away for 4 hours while you're doing your work. Honestly, I very much recommend it. It would make your life easier. Put a butt ton of veggies in there. Yeah, make a stew. I make pulled chicken in there all the time. Literally dozens of different ways you can put food in there and have like a really good... I'm going off on the wrong tangent, but I'm mad about his shaming of the crock pot. This came to a head last weekend. My sister came back to the US for a bit and wanted to meet up. My sister asked me to come up for the weekend. I said, of course. I told my wife I would be away that weekend, and she cut me off saying that she had plans to go out with friends to dinner, and I would need to be home to watch our daughter. I said she could get a babysitter, and she shot that down. At this time, all my resentment had been building, so I walked away before I said something hurtful, but I had made up my mind that I was going. You have to have another conversation. You don't get to walk away. I hope you talked one more time at least instead of just left. But also, you're not wrong. You're not in the wrong so far. Oh, he didn't try to talk to her again about it. He just left. Oh, no, that's petty. That's petty, but also play stupid games. On Thursday, she came home. We did the whole welcome home, how was work, kiss, kiss, and then I decided to act. All right. I don't know how I feel about this anymore now. The communication has gone out the window, and he's lying. Because acting, like he's just going to go out. I said I had to run to the store and would be right back. That's not acting, that's lying. Just call it what it is. Maybe you're still not the asshole because you should have been able to do this trip, but call it what it is. You're lying to her and sneaking out. Instead, I got in my car with my suitcase already packed and in the trunk, and I drove to Woods Hole, took the ferry to the Vineyard, and once I was there and settled in, I called my wife to tell her where I was and that she would need to take care of our daughter for the weekend. Everyone sucks here so far because you guys can't communicate. And so you lied to her. You didn't act, you lied, and then left and didn't come back. She was livid, so I hung up, sent her a text detailing how I felt about being used, and I had a wonderful weekend with my sister. I came back late on Monday, and my wife handed me our daughter and stormed off. My sister, in very carefully chosen words, said I did the right thing, but to expect blowback. I don't know if I'd call this the right thing. I don't know if I'd call it the right thing. I don't know. It's petty and, like, kind of needed to happen a little bit. Like, something needed to happen. I would have personally preferred it be a conversation, but you're definitely going to have one now. You're going to have a big one now. My friends all say I was an asshole, except 2 who think it was about time that I stood up for myself. I don't know about how you did it, though. I feel bad for the kid. The kid is not doing anything wrong at all. I don't know why not a babysitter. The wife turned down the option of babysitter and didn't explain why. That's where I'm like, all right, she's not really trying to meet you halfway and is not being reasonable. And you never get to go out, and she goes out all the time with her friends, and you're asking for one time to go out with your sister for a weekend, and she won't let you do it and also won't get a babysitter. It's a bit weird. I can see why it amounted to this and him leaving and not coming home. But that means you guys have some bigger issues in your relationship. Honestly, I don't blame him. But that means you have much bigger issues in your relationship than just, I didn't get to go out this weekend. You have a bigger problem than that. Those who agreed with me are female, and the ones who called me an asshole are male, if that affects any judgment or matters at all. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I don't blame him. Honestly, sometimes things get to a petty level, but you now have to face big issues in your relationship that honestly were already there and have now just been really, really highlighted, I think. Really, really highlighted. My wife has barely spoken to me all week, and to be completely honest, I feel zero sense of guilt or remorse. I had a blast and a well-needed break. He needed it. It's a shame she wouldn't let him go and wouldn't be reasonable about getting a babysitter. But I don't know. I think before resorting to leaving and not coming home, not telling her, I would have tried to talk one more time and say, can we sit down and can you really hear me about how important it is for me to have this one weekend? And I know you already have plans, and we are in a relationship with a child where we both will have to make sacrifices. And I'm asking if it's possible for you to consider making this one for me so that I can have a weekend because I never get them. And I'm really feeling like I'm going to crack because I need a break or something like that. Maybe just try that one more time. And if she's still not reasonable, then I would have left, probably. Then I would have been more on your side about just leaving her with the kid. The poor kid. I'm still mad about the crock pot. That comment didn't need to happen. It did not. Oh my God. Oh, okay. So I said that this is not just a problem of you need more weekends off. I said you have a much bigger problem going on in your relationship that we can all see now. From what I've seen, he added an edit and said, but from what I've seen so far, I've realized that I've been unhappy and resentful to the point where I'm at this moment, considering going to a lawyer and bypassing the idea of therapy altogether. That's big problems type of stuff. That's stuff you already have just been not acknowledging or speaking about, I think, is a lot of... I have a pimple here and I can't stop touching it. I assume a lawyer for a divorce is what he's talking about. Maybe that's for the best, because it doesn't sound like you guys can communicate with each other. And if you're at a point of resentment, maybe you are not meant to be. And I think that's better to recognize that. I don't know, maybe I'd try therapy first, at least one session to talk to them. But if like you're really at a point where you're like, I really don't want to even fix it because I don't want to be with them anymore, then I think that's the best decision you make, because trying to continue through the path of resenting each other and living in the same house, that's even worse for the kid. That's much worse for the kid. Just don't get married. I do feel for people that get married and spend a long time in a marriage and really, really work on it. And after an amount of time, they do realize that they aren't as happy as they thought they would be together, and they divorce later and they have a kid, and it's a complicated situation. But I think all people deserve to follow where their happiness should be, or follow where their happiness is. And staying in something where you are unhappy is going to be even more damaging to a kid, I think, than leaving but keeping intact the healthy relationship you have as a family, but splitting up as a couple. It happens sometimes. It does happen sometimes. These people shouldn't have got married. These people could never communicate with each other ever. I think they're both assholes a little. They both kind of suck. They both suck, because he should have tried talking at least one more time. But if he was going to try and talk and she wasn't going to actually really hear him, then I would have left the house. And then I probably would be like, yeah, you should probably get divorced. Okay. The wedding ones are always juicy. Am I the asshole for telling my friend her boyfriend is not allowed at my wedding? I shall try to keep this short. You didn't, but that's okay. Though I have a tendency to ramble and add more necessary info, so I apologize ahead of time. I love unnecessary info. I think that it's all context. I think everything adds a little sprinkle of context. So I love additional info. Yeah. Also, I'm on mobile. Anyway, okay. I'm supposed to be getting married early October 2022. Why did I say it like that? It's not going to be a big wedding or anything, but me and my fiance both have friends that we don't want to leave out. Cool. Fair. Fine. I have this friend, Amanda. We have known each other since high school, and we aren't incredibly close by any means, but we are still somewhat good friends and hang out regularly, and I would like her to be there. The problem is, I recently found out who she is now dating, and she wants to bring him as her +1. Off to a good start. My sister, Lily, and her ex, Steve, broke up about 10 months ago because she found out he was cheating. She was heartbroken. All the juicy ones got a cheater in here, and I'm here to judge you. Just a little bit. She was heartbroken, and I know along with that pain, she still has a lot of resentment for him and doesn't even like hearing his name. That's fresh. That's a fresh wound still. That's fair. He was a shit boyfriend, so my family has no problem with him no longer being in our lives. 8 months ago, Amanda told me she started talking to someone, and uh-oh. She really liked him and everything. She wouldn't tell me who, not even his name, because she said she didn't want to share anything about him till it got more serious. Uh-oh, what did Amanda do? Oh, no. I didn't really understand the secrecy, but didn't force her to tell me anything, and just to let her know I was happy for her and hope it all worked out. Well, last week she told me she was dating Steve. Oh, no, not Steve. Tell me Steve didn't cheat on your sister with Amanda. You're allowed to say he's not invited to the wedding. Most of the ones about not wanting a +1 at the wedding, it was the person who was the asshole that wouldn't allow the +1. You're not this time. Steve's the asshole. Oh no. They got more serious and she wanted to make their relationship public to the people they care about. She also said she knew how much I disliked him and what he had done to my sister, and I hoped I would try to understand their love and be happy for her and try to see him in a different light. People can change. But this is the woman he cheated on his previous girlfriend with. He doesn't need to be there. You can date. We might side-eye you a little bit, though. But he doesn't come to the wedding. He doesn't come. And you're okay with that, is what's supposed to happen. Okay, I was a little shocked at first since I didn't really expect her to be with a guy like him, and she knew what kind of person and boyfriend he was. But it is in my place, and I told her that I'm happy she's happy, and that was that. Well, 2 days later, we were texting about the wedding and everything, and she mentioned Steve being her +1. Shouldn't have given her one. You said you weren't even close to her. I do not want him there. Not only because I know my sister, who's my maid of honor, doesn't want him there, but also because I don't like him, and neither does my fiance. No one wants him there. No one wants this man. And Amanda should be like, you know what, I understand. It's a little bit fresh still. He cheated on her with me. It's actually not confirmed that that's who he cheated on her with, so that might not be true, but you're still valid for not wanting him to be there. That's totally, completely, 100% cool. I immediately told her that Steve was not invited to the wedding. She was confused, and I explained to her that I was sorry and I'm happy for her, but I don't want him to be there. It's your wedding. You don't have to want him to be there. At first, she thought it was because my sister would be, and kept saying that they wouldn't even be near each other and it would be fine, even if it was just for your sister, that would be allowed. But then I explained with everything that happened, I didn't want him to be there. I said sorry again, but she kept saying how I don't want her to be happy. Oh my God, this is not about you. This day is not about you. How I just want to live in the past and how I want to punish him for finding love, stuff like, oh my God. He cheated on her sister and it's her wedding. None of that is true, and I tried to tell her that, but she stopped responding. You also had a very lovely response to saying you know what, you're happy for her being happy, even if you dislike the guy she's with. You were very mature about that. You could have had a few more choice words, but you didn't, because you know what? It is true. Maybe he's different with her. Maybe maybe he's a changed man for her. But, no. So now I'm feeling like a complete asshole, and I don't know if I should just let Steve come or not. No! Don't let Steve come anywhere within 100 yards of your wedding. Or your sister, ever again. Oh, no. This day is not about you, Amanda. Oh, my God. You just don't want her to be happy. She's, okay, no, you're not the asshole. This is one of the times where you refuse to let someone invite their significant other, and you're not the asshole. Because it's more rare that has happened. Listen, he cheated on your sister. Maybe not with Amanda, but the timeline sounds like it's probably Amanda that he cheated on her with. You know what would be a better move? And still would be an asshole move, though, but would be better? Is if Steve, right before he was going to cheat on his girlfriend, if he was really going to do that, why not at least get on the phone real quick, send a quick text. It's still an asshole move. End the relationship. Don't be a cheater. Maybe do anything else but be a cheater. And I do believe people can change. And I don't believe you should punish people forever. However, you also don't have to forgive them. And you don't have to let those people back in your life. And maybe out in the rest of the life that they live with other people that don't know what they did. Or maybe do and are willing to give you a chance. Maybe then you become a better person. And I truly hope that for everyone. But don't be a cheater. Just try really hard. It's not that hard. Am I the asshole for revoking an opportunity because the guy used it to hit on women? Okay. Okay, cool. If you're thinking about cheating, just end it. Yeah, and listen, people say it depends on the situation. I say you're always in the wrong if you opt for that option instead of any of the other available options, but I also know relationships get really, really toxic and messy. Still means you did something wrong, but doesn't mean you're incapable of ever becoming a better person ever again. But the people who were hurt by you do not have to forgive you either. Okay. Am I the asshole for revoking an opportunity because the guy used it to hit on women? Long story short, I'm a master industrial appliance mechanic. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay. I brought on an early 20s man at the starting stages of apprenticeship. There's some mistypes. He used the position to hit on women at this. This one doesn't sound fun to read. It's really short and doesn't sound fun. He's the asshole. He's the asshole. Am I the asshole for calling my brother a sore, slow loser? This one sounds like it might be juicy. I hopped in a fun chat. Oh, we have fun here. Judging people. Yeah. My wife, Irene, is very fit. She likes working out and has a proper exercise regime, etc. She believes that if she feels good, she looks good, and she feels good working out, so who am I to stop her? Go, Irene! I support you. My brother Will spent the latter of half last year going through a messy divorce and now needs a place to stay. Though my brother and I are very close, aren't very close. I figured he would only stay with us for a couple weeks until he got back on his feet. Uh-oh, that means he didn't. Uh-oh. Will is a typical gym rat. He's always on a very strict diet, always working out, and bragging about his gains. Okay. I've worked out with him a few times, and he's a little obnoxious. He's always mad at you if you don't work out at his pace, and is always trying to correct your form. He's a pretty fit, muscular guy, but I don't like to exercise with him. Okay. Will has been pushing Irene to work out with him because, according to him, she won't be able to keep up with him. Irene mostly just shrugs him off with a laugh and tells him she would love to work out with him. Irene works out in the morning 3 times a week and then does a little run in the evening, but she's been busy this past week and hasn't been able to stick to her usual schedule. Will thinks that she's making excuses because she doesn't want to be embarrassed by him. Again, Irene just laughs him off. I don't think he's saying this to Irene because she's a woman. I think he's saying this to Irene because she's someone who works out and is like trying to have like a little friendly competition with her, but it's coming off bad. About 2 days ago, Irene and Will went on an early morning run. I didn't go with them, but the first thing I heard when Will entered the house was, the only reason I couldn't keep up with you, Irene, is because you were sweating too much. Oh, he is a sore loser. Street citizen, bring it in for a hug. Her being a woman might be a factor, but it is valid that she's a woman who works out, and so he wants to he wanted to beat her, but he didn't. I found this extremely comical, and I kind of just laughed him off. Irene rolled her eyes and went to take a shower, so I thought the conversation would die. However, Will just kept bringing up my wife's sweat. Ew. Okay, I don't like him anymore. I mean, I didn't like him anyways, but I was like, maybe it's not as bad as it sounds so far. It is, though. My wife went to work, and he told her to make sure she doesn't sweat through her clothes. Or when she called me in the middle of the day, he yelled, "Tell the sweaty B-word." I said hi. I'm allowed to swear today, but I just felt bad. I didn't want to say that one. That one felt too mean. Of course, the B-word comment aggravated me, and I told him to knock it off and stop acting like a child. I thought that was the end of it, but he just kept going. By the end of the day, I was tired of his comments. All in one day, he wouldn't let it go. That's insecurity. The man's insecure. But Irene seemed rather unfazed by it. Okay, by the end of the day, I was tired of his comments, but Irene seemed rather unfazed by them. When she served him food, he made a comment about her sweating into the food. At this point, I was at my wit's end, and I told him to stop acting like a sore, slow, referring to his running pace, loser, and eat his food. Will, of course, got angry and said the only reason he was going slower than usual is because he was distracted by my wife's unhygienic sweat. Sweat is not unhygienic, first of all. Sweat is not inherently, as soon as it exits your body, an unhygienic thing. If you sweat and then sit around for a few days in it, maybe then I'd call you unhygienic. Maybe I'd say, consider a shower, perhaps. But to sweat, the act of sweating when working out is not an unhygienic thing. But this man doesn't sweat. This man has never sweated in his life. He doesn't do that because that would be unhygienic of him. He's been super pissed ever since. Oh, wait. Irene looked a bit offended by this, and I told Will that I would kick him out if he made another comment like that. I would have kicked him out at that comment. That's it. I would have kicked him out at simply just that comment. I would have kicked him out. I would have never had him over after the bitch comment. He's been super pissed ever since. I jokingly told this story to a mutual friend, and they agreed with Will. What? Maybe I shouldn't be so harsh. Who in their right mind would agree with Will about shaming a woman for sweating because he couldn't handle the fact that she outran him? Who would ever agree? I love playing devil's advocate in these stories. I love trying to see the other side because, you know, sometimes there's not like a clear right and wrong. Sometimes it's a little bit more, a little muddy than that. You know, not everything's a black and white kind of a, but for an entire day, this wasn't even over the course of multiple days. It was over just the course of one singular day. He made so many comments about this woman sweating. And then when one comment was made back at him, he imploded. And then said that sweating is unhygienic. Her unhygienic sweat. Just say that you've never been around a woman for very long at all. Just say that. Did you think women don't sweat at all? Did you think that was only for men? Do you think people don't sweat? I assume you sweat. You're such a gym rat. You work so hard at the gym. You've probably sweated. Women don't poop and women don't sweat is what he must think. Okay. Nah, you're not the asshole. Who would ever agree with Will? This man doesn't have a wife of his own, right? I hope. For her sake. I don't know. I mean, some people don't sweat like a lot, but geez. Am I the asshole? Actually, this one sounds lame. Let's find a different one. Am I the asshole for bringing my dog in a local supermarket and telling a kid not to pet it? I'm going to make the assumption this is probably a dog that shouldn't be pet in public because he's doing a little job. And then, no, you're not an asshole because they're not supposed to pet those dogs. He's working. Oh, he got a divorce. Was that in the story that I glossed over and forgot? Oh, I wonder why that happened. Oh my gosh, what happened in your relationship to have caused that? Oops. Oh, this one sounds messy. Okay. Am I the asshole for not telling my children anything about why their extended family pays less attention to them than their sister? Sounds like a messy kind of a family. Nikki6, thank you for the 250 bits. Thank you so much for the biddies. Appreciate it. Ooh, what's the issue with the extended family? That's where some real drama comes from sometimes, is the second cousins, third cousins, and your extended aunts and twice removed, all that stuff. That's where some drama lies. Okay, our family dynamics are extremely complicated. My husband had his first child at 19 with a much older woman. He got pushed out of her life, and while he wanted to fight for her in court, he got manipulated out of it because he was already uninvolved. Oh, for the child. That was very weirdly worded. My husband had his first child at 19 with a much older woman. He got pushed out of her life being the child, not the wife, and fought for her in court, and he got manipulated out of it because he was already uninvolved. He did pay child support, and there were no visits, and the mother left the state shortly after the child was born. When the daughter was 17, the full story finally came out through federal agents coming to his door. He was floored by what the reality of the situation was and had always been. He was crushed by... Wait, what? He was crushed by guilt and only wanted to help his daughter. And obviously, when you've lived a life where your version of teenage rebellion is working with federal agents to free yourself from your household, Did I miss something? No normal family dynamic or rule is ever going to apply. So she has never been able to safely live with her father or anyone in the family. Did I miss something? I missed something. When the daughter was 17, the full story finally came out through federal agents coming to his door. He was floored by the reality of the... What reality? That he didn't... I don't get it. I'm so lost. I guess I'll just keep going. He has been able to help her with the legal side of things, including suing her mother. They totally skipped a whole part of the story. Okay. So the mother was bad. The mother was bad, it sounds like. I'm not going to go into detail, but if it helps to illustrate the situation... Oh, okay. Right. They didn't... Okay. It might be the mother did some bad stuff. Her mother is legally required to pay her health insurance premiums for the rest of her life. Her grandparents on both sides helped by creating various trusts for her, and her father both put his own money into it and gave up inheritance of his own from his own parents for her, as he should. She's not mentally or physically able to work full-time, but with how things settled, she doesn't really need to. Okay. What was the... My husband and I now had kids together, and his family comparatively don't do anything for our kids. On holidays, the grandparents and aunts all give his oldest gifts and give our kids dollar store presents, if anything. They also visit his oldest often, but only see ours on major holidays. That's not to make the kids part of the problem. The kids are now getting old enough to notice this, and they want to know why. I think they are far too young for the full truth. They aren't mature enough or old. They didn't tell me how old they are either, but they're probably young. They aren't mature enough or old enough. My husband wants to tell them because she suffered and they should be happy they don't need it in the way she does, but I don't think that's right either. While in this case, my stepdaughter absolutely deserves the money and attention she gets from the family, I don't want to teach a moral value on money like that as a rule. I think we should just tell them that they are treated the same and leave it at that. But my husband is arguing that I'm gaslighting by doing that and that we need to be honest. They are not being treated the same. I don't know. That one's not like a fun kind of messy. That one didn't get to be a fun kind of messy. I want fun kind of messy. I think the grandparents should put a little more effort into the young kids because they don't deserve to be treated any different. The kids don't. The kids aren't involved. Don't bring the kids into things. I don't know. That's my moral of that story. Don't bring the kids. Just treat them the same. All the kids, and you can still be giving the older daughter money, but give the kids a better gift than a dollar store gift. Or they said they don't even give them anything sometimes. They're still your grandkids. You can still give more to the older daughter, especially in terms of just straight funds that she needs, but little gifts for the little babies, little baby boys, little baby kids. All right, let's find another juicy one. I'm only going to go for like another 30 minutes. We're actually going to only do a little short stream today. Because I'm going to go work on a second episode of Afterlife. And I will be live on Sunday. And I think that's when we'll do the unpacking stream. Or I'll do the choices stream. And then we'll have the rest come as they do. Ooh. That was good. That was really good. That was a good one. Okay. Oh no. Am I the asshole for micromanaging blankets with a date? I really want to know what that's about. Am I the asshole for getting upset with my husband for hiring a cleaner service? I feel like we've heard stories like that one a lot, but let's see. Here's one determined as everyone sucks. Oh no. Am I the asshole for not wanting to split rent proportionally to income and go way over budget for my boyfriend? That one sounds messy. I'm going to read that one. Okay, these ones we read. Ooh, this one. Oh, I found a great one for us. This one, Reddit determined the person who wrote the story the asshole, and get a load of this title. Am I the asshole for throwing my asexual brother a proper bachelor party? What does that mean? Explain what a proper bachelor party is. Oh, I'm gonna read that one. Oh. And Reddit said you're the asshole. Let's read that one last. That might be the last one we go with. Let's go with, am I the asshole for micromanaging blankets with a date? What are you getting up to in bed with these blankets? Why? Oh, I know what he means by a proper bachelor party. I just like that he doesn't think any bachelor party that doesn't have things like that is not a proper one. You can do whatever you want for a bachelor party. For a bachelorette party, I would be really uncomfortable if there were like men dancing around and stuff like that. I wouldn't want that. And it's not because I'm asexual. It's just because I would be so uncomfortable. And not because I'm asexual, but because I don't want to look at other men at all, honestly. Usually, most of the time, always. I want all my little girlfriends to get together. We'll go have tea. We'll have a tea party. And then, like, I don't know, go see a movie. I don't know what I want to do for a bachelorette party or something. But I don't know. Tea. Maybe a little good old sleepover with my friends. I don't know. I'd just be too. That's just me, though. That's just me. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You're allowed to do whatever you want. I also think that these kinds of things should be discussions between partners of what the other is comfortable with you doing. Like, how, All right. Am I the asshole for micromanaging blankets with a date? I'm 27 female. I've gone on a couple dates with this guy, 36 male. And this past weekend, he texted me to ask if he could come over in 20 minutes because he just got some great candy from the store in our city. We live in a legal state. I said, sure. But that 20 minutes wouldn't give me enough time to get my apartment just right for his first time coming over. It was his first time coming over. So hopefully he wouldn't mind. He said no. Do you like drama? Genuinely no, but I do like getting to see how other people think and try and, like, just out of pure no information about these people, like real information about these people at all, try and in my head figure out what went wrong, play a little fake therapist, but I'm not qualified to do it at all. But also it's a story on Reddit. It's probably not even real and it's just for fun, but I don't like drama. No. Okay. He said no problem. I did a speed clean of the living room. This is what I would do if someone was coming over. Honestly, if any of my friends were coming over, I would immediately have to clean the floors, clean the bathroom, even if it's already been cleaned. I have to, like, tidy everything up, put things away, hide the fact that I live in this apartment completely. There can't be any evidence of living here at all. Just standard tidying stuff. One thing about the living room that I didn't even think of was the 2 blankets I have on top of the couch I always sit on. I have one long couch and one love seat. And the love seat is kind of where I post up every day. The 2 blankets I have on this couch are a crochet blanket from my grandmother I've had since I was a teenager. And a blanket from my undergrad school I bought after a traumatic event 8 years ago that I used to basically swaddle myself in when I was having trouble sleeping because of nightmares. Both blankets are super important to me and basically adult security blankets. Fine. Cool. I know this might sound pathetic, but whatever. I don't let anyone else use them, which usually isn't an issue since I live alone. I sat on this couch and was working on my own crochet blanket when he came over. After a few minutes, I folded up my work in progress blanket and put it down next to me. He stood up and said, I'm cold, so I'm taking your blanket. Okay. I hope you have other blankets. You definitely need to have other blankets. I have like 5, 6 blankets floating around my apartment. I'm so ready for guests and have never had any. I have so many extra towels if everyone were to sleep over, and no one has, and no one probably will. I have so much just extra stuff in case I have someone stay over. I'm so prepared, though. I'm ready to be a host, a good host. One day. One day it'll happen. One day someone will need my couch. My mom's going to come visit eventually. She'll take the couch. She'll sleep on my couch. Okay. Picking up my work in progress and accidentally unraveling some stitches when the hook fell out. I said, actually, please don't. It's not finished and you'll rip out stitches. I'll get you another blanket. He said it wasn't a big deal. He'd take one from the couch. I said, I'd really prefer I get him one from my guest room. Okay, this is not a situation of micromanaging blankets. This is, also immediately you could just say, actually, these are kind of, I meant to put these away. These are a little bit important to me. It's not a big deal, but I'm just going to go put them away and grab you another blanket. Rather than just be like, no, I'm going to get you from the guest room and not explain anything. He said he'd prefer to just use those and that I was being ridiculous. I said it wasn't an option and went to grab one from the other room. Okay, he needs to know why. He doesn't understand what's happening, but also don't call her ridiculous for it. I came back and he wrapped himself in both blankets and was giggling while looking at me, with his fingers even sticking through some of the stitches in my grandma's blanket. I get it. You're goofy. You're in a silly, goofy mood. And you don't understand what's wrong about taking these 2 blankets because she hasn't said yet why. So you took them both to wrap yourself in it and thought it'd be funny because why would anyone, what possible reason could we have to make up in our mind on why she really doesn't want you to be playing or like touching these? They're just blankets. You don't understand why. There's no logical reason that you have to go off of it all in your head. Don't stick your fingers through the holes. Don't stick your fingers through the crocheted blankets holes. You loosen that up, it's never going to go back. I crochet. Don't put your fingers through the holes. Be delicate with the crocheted things. You know what I learned is that, so it's a big popular thing right now. I just realized recently, I don't know how to say popular. It's a really big popular thing in school, in stores right now. Certain stores have a big stock of crocheted tops and things. Like it's in right now. Crocheted items are always handmade. They cannot be replicated by machines. And companies that are big fast fashion companies are making crocheted items to sell, like probably Forever 21, super cheap fast fashion type stores. So they're criminally undercharging the people who are making the crocheted clothes. And then, so don't buy anything crocheted from like a fast fashion kind of a store. Buy whatever clothes you want from there. But the recommendation is like, maybe don't get crocheted items from there because that's people working with their hands and they're definitely not being paid enough for the clothes that literally have to have been made by somebody's hands. But I love going on Etsy and buying crocheted stuff. I want to learn how to crochet and make my own clothes. I want to make a little crocheted tank top and stuff. That sounds so cool. I'm not going to say never buy anything from fast fashion types of places because I buy clothes from fast fashion. But the crocheted stuffs, like specifically, there's no option that they were made by a machine. They are always by hand. Okay, don't stick your fingers through the blanket. Trying to stay as calm as possible, I told him he had 5 seconds to give me the blankets back and take the other one, or I'd be asking him to leave my apartment. I feel like there were many moments that she should have just stopped and said, these are incredibly sentimental and personal items, and I didn't give a moment to explain that to you, but this is made by my grandmother, and it's incredibly important to me, and I'm trying not to have a meltdown right now. Please hand me the blankets. But he has no, like, if you don't know that, what would you possibly think is so important about a blanket? But also, she said no. I'm not on his side. I'm playing devil's advocate, but I'm definitely not on his side. He doesn't understand why, though. She doesn't want him to have these blankets. She definitely could have taken any of these moments to explain it. But if a woman says no to doing something in her home, you don't do the thing. Don't do the thing. Honestly, I'm just trying to explain the mindset of him not thinking there's anything wrong with what he's doing in his head. But a woman said no. She put a boundary down on her blankets, even if it seemed silly to you. You don't understand why. I would only say, maybe make it clear what the explanation is so there's no more, like, space of confusion for him. But also, she said don't touch them, don't touch them. Vixel Green Bendy Straw, thank you for the prime. I'm definitely not on his side. He's the asshole. Also, don't put your fingers through a crocheted blanket. Don't put your fingers in there. He took the blankets off and stayed for another hour watching TV, but was quiet and sulky the whole time. Did he? Okay, I guess you're right that she doesn't have to explain anything. That's fair. I don't see, it would help maybe the situation for him to understand what just happened, but she doesn't owe anything to him except a no and would hope that he would respect that. But it's over blankets, so he doesn't understand what could possibly be a big deal about it. And obviously, there is a valid big deal about it because it's made from her grandmother, but he just doesn't know that. Okay, and you didn't talk about it again. The next morning, he texted me a very long text saying that me micromanaging blankets was extremely unattractive to him and he no longer wished to see me. Ooh, I think you might have actually just dodged a really big bullet. I think actually you dodged a bullet. I'm torn because I feel like I was asking him a very simple thing and just setting a boundary. You were. You 100% were. But I also know that to someone else, it might come across as being too controlling. If they don't know why you're doing it, sure. But they don't need to know why. And did he ask and be like, there's obviously something going on here that you're being really controlling over these blankets. Will you explain it to me? And she can say yes and then explain it. Or she can say, No. She could say no, but it sounds like she dodged a bullet. I should clarify that when I told him I should clarify that when I told him he couldn't use them because I didn't let others use them, I did say that they had an important meaning to me. She did say. I was like, I can see that he just completely does not understand what could possibly be so important about a blanket. But she did say they're important to her. That's it. That's all you needed. You literally could not have done anything even more for him in this situation. Yeah, and he's in his 30s. Okay, yeah, I still wasn't even on his side. You don't have to explain yourself to him. You were just setting a boundary, and that's all you need to do is say, no, you can't do that thing in my home. That's all. But sometimes people are idiots, but have good intentions. He was an idiot and then sounded like he didn't have good intentions. Am I the asshole for getting upset with my husband for hiring a cleaning service? Let's see. Okay. We have 3 more, and then that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Listen to this typing real quick. The space bar is a bit clunk. I'm fixing that issue tomorrow. I'm going to get a little... I'm putting a little Velcro strip, like the soft part here. The space bar. It's so aggressive. The keys themselves without spaces, though. Some of them are a little squeaky, though. It kind of has like a toy keyboard feeling to it. I do wish it had maybe a little bit of a better kind of smooth click and wasn't so loud here. I'm going to fix that, though. I don't mind that. And I think there's things I can do to fix the like squeaky kind of plasticky sound in the buttons. All right. Am I the asshole for getting upset with my husband for hiring a cleaning service? So this has been on my mind for a while, and I genuinely can't see if I'm in the wrong overreacting. My 33 female, I literally can't read, husband, 34 male, struggles to consistently help out around the house. Okay. Okay, I'm off to a real good start. We both have full-time jobs and no kids, but both our jobs are well over 40 hours a week and require a lot of nights and weekends. Because of this, we try to clean and do things around the house when we can fit it in, and it's usually not at the same time as each other. Everyone in the chat, she's not the asshole. The only thing he will do consistently is the dishes, which I really appreciate. But when it comes to the rest of the house, I end up doing everything. We have a lot of pets. Oh, you have pets. Okay. So the house needs constant vacuuming and mopping. I bring this up to him all the time, and he promises to get better, but 3 days later, he's back to doing nothing. He will frequently use the excuse, I didn't know what needed to be done. You didn't say you needed help with anything. I've been there. I've been there. She shouldn't have to constantly ask you to do things when there's things. There's always things to be done. Just assume there's already things to be done. Have the mindfulness to think, what's something that I could be doing right now because I have some time, I'm not working, and it would help around the house because I'm not doing as much, because I have already actively had a conversation with my wife about how I'm not good at cleaning up. Maybe I should actively think about the things that might need doing instead of waiting for someone to tell me what to do. Okay. I tell him to just look around. If something looks dirty, clean it. I keep reminding him I'm not his mom. And I shouldn't have to create chore lists for him. It's not difficult. He might have ADD and not managing it properly. That's still something that is on him to figure out. That's something he's not taking the steps to solve any of the issue. Anyway, after a long week of work, I was fried and begged him to take over most of the cleaning this weekend. He understood and agreed. The next day, I come home to find he has ordered a cleaning service to clean the house while he hung out for the day. I was upset with him and accused him of being lazy. His reasoning was that he could see how stressed I was and wanted to give us an opportunity to relax together. See, that I don't see that as being super wrong, except he definitely is still avoiding making an effort on a regular basis. But this act standalone is not a bad thing inherently. He is avoiding just doing the work to be better about the thing that he is aware of, though. I was still pissed and I did not talk to him for the rest of the day. We had a few fights over it and he genuinely can't understand why I'm getting so mad at him buying a gift for both of us. That's when, if he was the one writing the story, he would title it as, "Am I the asshole for buying a gift for my wife?" That's what they'd write. That's what they'd put. Doing this, if you already were active in helping cleaning on a normal basis and then over a weekend where it was meant to be entirely your responsibility, you decided, let me get a cleaning service so when she comes home, we can both hang out. That would be great. That'd be so good. That'd be such a good thing to do. But you're already not putting in the effort where you know you need to be. She's not your mom. It also sounds like I've heard the excuse of like, she's mad at me over some dishes. And it's not over, let me tell you, she isn't mad over chores. She's not mad over a few chores. She's mad that you're not respecting her time. You're not valuing it equal to yours because she's spending it cleaning the home that you share and you're not. And you're not thinking of that you're in a roommate situation where you need to have respect and make effort in the space that you share. Because she is not your mother and it's a relationship, you're a team, and it sounds disrespectful. That's what, these issues are not over the chores. She's not mad at you because you won't do your chores. She's mad at you because you're seemingly not caring about the time she's putting into the relationship for you both and the space that you share, and you're not doing the same. NYM, not your mother. Not your mother. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not. First of all, he said she got mad at him for buying them both a gift. That's not what happened either. Am I the asshole for getting upset? I feel like he was trying to skirt a responsibility that I usually do myself almost every day. Is it too much to ask for him to take over the chores that day without having to pay someone to do it for him? I don't see that as the big issue here. I think the big issue is here that he won't do it ever. Ever. I mean, if he hired a cleaning service on a regular basis, I'd accept that, honestly, so that neither of us has to do it. How about that? How about we explore that option? But also, you're the one offering to pay for it. You can't explain. If you're going to offer that as a solution, you can't expect to split it because she's willing to do it without paying for it because it's an easy thing to do without paying somebody else to do it. But if you really don't want to do it and you really care about how she's doing it all and you're not, maybe you hire a cleaning service full time. How about do that? Or just clean some things sometimes. Do some dishes. Put in a little bit of effort. Be a little bit more mindful. Set reminders on your phone and be like, hey, do you have a free is this your free hour for the day? What could you be doing? Are the dishes unloaded? Is the floor clean? Is there some fur on the couch that you noticed? Just like spend an hour every day. Have a little reminder for your free time, or not even an hour, 30 minutes. Cleaning doesn't take that long. Cleaning takes minutes at a time for individual small tasks if you break it down to small tasks. Or a room at a time. Go clean the bathroom for a half hour. You don't even have to do all of the things that need to be cleaned in the bathroom. Just do cleaning for 30 minutes. Update, since hiring a cleaning service... Oh! Update, since hiring a cleaning service on a regular basis seems to be the go-to solution for many people, I should add that we cannot afford it. That's when I was like, if he insists on hiring it, you cannot expect her to split it with you because these are responsibilities you do not have to be paying to be taken care of. And if you can't afford to be spending that money every week, you shouldn't be. But if he wants to do it, he go ahead and do it. Get a cleaning service every week. He can pay for it. But if you can't afford it, then he should be doing the cleaning. The one-time expense did not break the bank, but we definitely have to adjust our budget this month to account for it. Okay, so it's really tight. And this is 100% not something that we can afford going forward. Update, since it has been asked, the cleaning was $500. Oh my God, that's a lot. A lot of cleaning services I've used before are like by the hour, and it's usually like $60 an hour or something like that. And I've never needed cleaning for more than 3 hours max. Right? Am I crazy that that's a lot? The cleaning that they had done that one day was $500. Not a week. That was just it might have been like usually the first time you get a cleaning service, it's the most expensive and the longest amount of time cleaning. But when you go on to a weekly basis, it becomes maintenance and it's much shorter amount of time to clean because it's a regular occurrence. That was $500 to do the cleaning for the weekend he was supposed to. That's how messy it got, that they took so many hours to clean that it cost $500. Oh, anxiety. Get in here for a hug. Yeah. Are they living in a mansion? Or how dirty did he make this place in such a short period of time? Or honestly, they're both working. They're probably just barely getting by with like the minimal amount of effort being able to clean in the first place. They have a lot of pets. If this includes cats, that means there's litter and there's fur. If it's dogs, it smells. A lot of soft, any couch, bed, cushions. If they did all the laundry, all of the dishes. A lot of times they'll do an amount of dishes by hand because they'll run one load, but not be able to run another or two. I don't know, sometimes. So they do a lot of things by hand. They get in there and they get into the nitty gritty. And I bet this couple hasn't been doing like a very, very, very super meticulous job cleaning with the keeping up because they're both working and he's not doing any of it. So I don't know. What were they for 5 hours? Was that $100 an hour? Even that still, I've paid between 40 and 60 for an hour at a time for different services before. It can vary, depends, but geez, how bad was it? Oof, I feel that though. I've read a lot of articles about this like phenomenon where this will end relationships a lot of times, especially when people start to live together. And from one side, they see it as you're ending the relationship because I wouldn't do dishes. But that's not what the problem is. It's not over the chores. It's about the effort and the time that you're putting in and the respect for each other and you're a team, you know, it's all about that. Am I the asshole for not wanting to split rent proportionally to income and go way over budget for my boyfriend? Reddit said everyone sucks here. $500 sounds like they had to steam the carpets. It probably was an extra level, like deep clean. He might have even splurged on it, which is why I see why they had to account for it in their monthly, like, breaking down of the bills because it was a $500. And do you recognize that because, okay, hold on, let me reread something I just realized. If they're putting it in the books in such a way that they have to account for it, the one-time expense didn't break the bank, but we had to adjust our budget. Our budget. He didn't pay for it, they paid for it. He used their shared money to pay for it. So she paid for it. So he, without her permission, used half of her money to pay for it. If they're sharing the money. And he paid for a $500 service. I mean, I don't know if they have separate accounts, if he has some of his own pocket change, but it shouldn't be that we had to adjust if he's going to take out of the shared account. Then he has to adjust. Then tell him he can't have his chicken nuggets and hot dogs this week, but you get to have whatever you want. Oh, he didn't even pay for it. They both took the hit. Okay. Not wanting to split rent proportionally to income. I'm going to see where this one goes because there's a lot of places. I feel like this one might be a roller coaster. Okay, so I'll start with the numbers breakdown. Oh, God, we're going to have to do math. No, we're not. They're going to do the math for us. This is great. Okay. I make $120,000 salary a year and currently rent a room in a rental house shared with friends for $470 a month for the rent and utilities included. Every time I hear what other people's rent can be, my stomach sinks for what I'm paying. I spend 4.7% of my income on housing. You're making a really good salary, too. You're making a really good salary. Dang. And you're sharing, obviously, you're splitting the rent. That always makes things a bit cheaper, but oh my God, I'm living. I spent so much money. My boyfriend makes $55,000 salary and rents a one-bedroom luxury apartment for $1,200 a month, rent and utilities. He spends 26% of his income on housing. I mean, if he's willing to have less for, like, fun things in between the months and all that, and that's how he wants to live, it's his money, 26%. That leaves him a bunch for other things. Also, tax is going to take a bunch of that. But sure, okay, he lives in a luxury apartment. Honestly, girl, you should be doing that. Why are you living shared with people? I guess, you know what? Why I don't need to judge for that, because sure, save some money. Why be spending all of it on rent? 26% is not bad at all in this economy. That's what I'm like. I'm like, okay, well, you know, he can do that though. I didn't see a point in paying much. Okay, this is where she's coming from. I didn't see a point in paying much in rent. My room is a really nice place. I keep my shit and sleep at night. I read the words of that sentence out of order, and I thought I could get through it, but it didn't come out right, and I had to own up to it. My room is really a place I keep my shit and sleep at night. I read the words out of order. I'm sorry, my brain can't be controlled sometimes. My boyfriend is more of a homebody. This is why he's probably spending more in rent, because his home and his space is important to him. This is how I feel. This is why I spend so much money in rent. I could have a bigger place, maybe with 5 roommates. No, I couldn't. I don't know that many people, but I could get like Craigslist roommates, but I would be afraid of that. But my boyfriend is more of a homebody. He has hobbies he does at home, like gaming and cooking. He works from home and hosts friends. Oh my God, he's me. Except he's still paying less than I do in rent too for a luxury apartment. I'm not living in a luxury apartment. So when we each hang out, oh wait, I literally don't know how to read. Why is this happening to me? Oh no. So we each thought about living together. I didn't realize at first, but we had a very different budget and an idea of what we wanted. I was happy with a budget apartment. I wanted to keep my rent and utilities under $650. Gosh, that's low, which would be an increase from what I was paying. And I was imagining splitting the rent halvesies, so that would mean we'd have a $1,300 budget, which could get us a luxury 1-bedroom or a nice 2-bedroom in the area. What's he paying? $1,200. So you're going to ask him to pay more. Wait, what? You don't want to? No, never mind. I'm wrong. I wanted to keep my rent and utilities under $650, and you would be splitting halvesies. So $1,300 split in half. Oh, he's getting a good deal out of this actually, though, too. I would go for the 2-bedroom for 2 people, though. 1 bedroom to cram 2 people in. You got to really like each other. You got to be really ready for that. He wanted another place in a luxury apartment complex. He was imagining keeping his payment the same or a little less. I would agree with him splitting an apartment. He should keep it about the same or less. He's making less money, too. And splitting the rent proportionally to our incomes. So on the higher end, he'd be paying $1,200, and I'd be paying $2,618 for a budget of $3,818. Her budget is $1,300. You guys got to get a bigger place, though. You got to, girl who's making more money, you got to put a little bit more into it. You got to get a bigger place for you both to be comfortable. If you're both going to be living together, you have to account for the fact that he needs a more comfortable place to live, or don't live together. He's not going to be happy in a tiny, teeny apartment squished in there with you, and it's not going to work real well, I think. I also understand why she doesn't want to spend more money in rent, though. But then that means I think maybe you don't live together yet, or ever. He'd be paying, okay, so on the higher end, no. On the lower end, he'd be paying $700, and I'd be paying $1,526 for a budget of $2,226. Where do you live? Maybe here in LA. For context, the 2000s range would get us a luxury 2 or 3 bedroom, and the 3000s range is the extreme top end of rent here. 2000s would get you a luxury 2 or 3 bedroom. That's not LA. LA 2000 is going to get you a dinky 1 bedroom. It's going to get you a dinky 1 bedroom. Hey, mans. We don't need to give any reaction to those in the chat. You know what's the best feeling is if someone puts like a really weird cringe comment in the chat, they end up banned, and even in the seconds before that happens, no one sees it. No one acknowledges it. No one gives any reaction to it. Ignore them. Make them feel invisible. And then we ban them. We give them nothing. They want attention, go call their mom. Okay. 2000s gets you a luxury 2 or 3 bedroom. You're definitely not living in LA. So we were on such different scales for my contribution, especially. I don't know. I feel like he's going a little bit too high end, right? But she's going a little too low. It sounds like they're not fit to live with each other. That doesn't mean they can't still date, but eventually they're going to have to sort this out. Maybe one day when they can get a house, but they keep separate places until then. He was thinking of asking me to spend 3.5 to 4 times more, but that's also, I mean, it's your money and you're allowed to not want to spend that much in rent, even if you're making that much more than him. But if you want to live together, he needs more of enough space in the home. That's a need for him, which is valid. We had a huge argument about it. He said his idea would still put me under the financially responsible guideline of spending no more than 30% of my income. It would only be 25% at most. Which he's not allowed to really ask for you to do that. But you could also meet in the middle? Meet in the middle, I think. You meet in the middle. Ooh, that was bright. Ooh. How about we tone you down a teeny bit? That didn't do anything. How about this one? Yeah. I said that wasn't financially responsible to be spending stupid money on rent, and that my budget was firm at $650 tops. No one's budging in either direction. Everyone does suck here. That's what Reddit said for this one. Everyone does suck here. They all suck. They're not willing to meet in the middle, like at all. And she's allowed to want to save money if her space is so not important to her and it's just a place to sleep and put her things, and all she wants is nothing more than just a little room to do that in. But he wants a home. But he won't bring his budget down for her. He's saying that she needs to spend more of her money for the space that they need to share. And she's saying he needs to accept less space. They shouldn't be living together. He said I was being ridiculously frugal, not making our relationship a priority, and wanting to take advantage of him by asking to go halvesies on rent when I make way more. Okay, some of that is not really a good argument, but I said it felt like he was trying to spend my money for something only he wanted, which is true, but if you don't want the same thing, you maybe shouldn't be living together. I'm happy to sleep in literally anywhere that's clean and safe. Plus, it's not taking advantage of to each pay for half the apartment. It's not taking advantage to each pay for, that's not how a sentence works, if we're each living in it. He said I was treating our relationship like a financial negotiation. No, I don't think that's fair, but I think you're both assholes. I think you're both assholes. Shouldn't pay more because you make more. If she doesn't want more space and she wants to put all of that money away, the moral of the story is you shouldn't be living together. It's not going to work out. It was probably the biggest fight we've had, and now I'm doubting myself. I know I spend pretty little on rent for what I make, and I feel like maybe that would make me a hard partner to live with. But the thing is, neither of you is willing to compromise. Like, you could spend a little more than $650. Like, you could spend a little more. And he could look for a place with a little less. And if neither of you is willing to budge on either of those things, you simply cannot live together. It will not work. It doesn't work. OP said in other comments, they're wanting cheaper rent in apartments because they're saving up for a house. I figured it's not our business to tell her she could be spending more of her own money. I'm sure she knows that she could be, but she's saving as much as possible. And right now, at her point in life, all she needs is a room with a bed, and she doesn't want anything more and doesn't want to spend more money on it. But you're entering into a relationship. You both have to make sacrifices and compromises. Neither of you wants to do that, so you should end the relationship. Yeah. She's allowed to not want to spend a single cent more, but then maybe just don't live together. Wait till you have the house, then try living together. Because no one is compromising. Not a single person is compromising even a little. Not even budging at all. So they're both the assholes. Because yeah, she shouldn't be expected to spend more of her money, but she also isn't willing to help at all in compromise, or I don't know. Neither of them was. All right, this is the last one we'll read, and then I'm going to go. Am I the asshole for throwing my asexual brother a proper bachelor party? Reddit deemed them the asshole, and I can't wait to read it. I'll preface this by saying my brother, 26 male, and I, 29 male, are super close. And he is about to get married to his lovely girlfriend of 5 years. He has been an out asexual for 2 of those years, and she's been supportive of that. So have I. Love who we love and all that. I'm an ally. Okay. I'm the best man at his wedding, or I was the best man at his wedding. His fiance told me last night that I'm out of the wedding party now and that my brother was too uncomfortable to make that choice himself. That's weird if you ask me. Be a man and and come to me yourself, but whatever. All right. okay, a lot's already happened. I've read 2 sentences. I asked her why, and she said it was because I didn't respect him. When pressing further, she said it was because he's asexual. But I have been nothing but supportive of his life choices. Oh. I feel like I need the mug for sipping. His life choices. I'm supportive of his lifestyle. Nobody asked him to have sex with anybody. Nobody said, oh boy. Oh boy. I really wish I did understand this guy's knowledge of being ace, because I wonder if that's even a factor in this scenario at all. Like, no one mentioned that. And I wonder how that even comes into play, or if it's even true or relevant. Because to the sexuality alone, it doesn't need to be at all. But he brought that up. So I was in charge of his bachelor party, and I threw him a fucking amazing party. There was booze. There was games. And all the stuff you'd expect. But the problem was, apparently he is rejecting the standard bachelor party stuff. You don't know your brother very well, do you? I don't think that he knows his brother really well, which also makes me feel like he's just making assumptions about his lifestyle choices. Okay. And that would have been fine, but he never told me he wanted anything different. Did you ask, though? You know, did you ever think to ask, though, first, too? You know, you could try to do that if he didn't think to tell you what he wanted. Maybe because it is your job to do the party and to do a party that he would enjoy. Ask him what he likes. At any point in his life ever, actually. So around the halfway point of the party, I'd ordered a stripper to come in and give my brother a lap dance. You really don't know your brother. You really don't know your brother. But you said you're close. You're super close. I don't think that you might be that close. She came in and he was immediately really weird and tried to like push her onto someone else. Oh, I feel really bad for him now. I tried to encourage him that it was cool and not cheating or anything, but he was pissed. Called his fiance, and after 10 minutes he left. I feel really bad for him. This is bad regardless of his sexuality. I think that the guy writing the story doesn't know what this sexuality even is at all, honestly. Oh, he just isn't comfortable with that. Anyone could just be uncomfortable about to get married to a woman and not want a lap dance. A bit respectable in a way, maybe? Like, he wasn't comfortable with it. Just regardless of any other life choices, he wasn't comfortable. Okay. All right. Okay. I tried to confront him about it outside, but he told me that he'd talk to me when he had cooled off. And he got in his car and left. But he never talked to me about it. And his fiance did tell me I was out of the best man slot. How do you write this and not recognize that you're the asshole? How do you really not think that you are? Should I even go to the wedding? Am I a bad brother? Am I the asshole? Yeah. Like, really, very much so. So the top comment, you basically ordered a steak for a vegetarian. I don't really actually like that analogy, but it's funny. You ordered a steak for a vegetarian and didn't understand why they didn't like the smell. You're not an ally, clearly. Take some time to do some reading up on that. It sounds like you threw the party you would want and not the one he would want, so that makes you a jerk brother too. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I don't like the analogy of steak for a vegetarian. I think I just don't like comparing people to food like that. And also, I don't know which we're saying is the steak. Is the woman the steak, or the act of sex the steak? Or is it just the lap dance is the steak? Because he might have liked it from the woman he's marrying. But he maybe probably just doesn't like it from a stranger, which is fine. Yeah. Oh, I feel really bad for that guy. I don't think that's really OP, you're clearly not as close to your brother as you think you are. Yeah, you're in like a real delusional place in your mind. If you genuinely thought you had a really close relationship And you support his life choices. Okay. No, I don't think the analogy is meant to be literal, but it's just, as soon as you try to make it make sense, it doesn't, but it is a funny line it's a good funny line, and also to just show you don't know this man at all. Like, really doesn't, you don't know this man at all. Yeah, all right. Asexual here, and I agree, you're the asshole, not an ally, and a jerk brother all around. Did you ever even educate yourself? Did you ever bother to learn about what makes him uncomfortable? No, clearly no. No. Yeah, I don't really know. Not to mention, he doesn't have to even specifically educate himself on the sexuality. He just needs to educate himself on his brother. That's all he needed to do. He didn't need to do anything else if he didn't want to. Honestly, I'd encourage it. But he didn't need to look into, because it doesn't answer any questions for his brother specifically on what he would or wouldn't have liked at this bachelor party. But he clearly just doesn't know his brother at all. He responded to one of the comments and, oh, are you reading along? How can you tell where he responded to? I want to know. I want to know which one he responded to. I don't really know. Just scroll down. I can't find anywhere where it shows the guy who wrote clearly commenting. No, I can't find it, but that's fine. I don't care what he has to say. He's the asshole. He doesn't know his brother at all. It says OP next to the username. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone with the OP next to the username. I don't know how far you scrolled, but how far did he scroll before he felt like responding to somebody? Apparently very far. Ooh, I'm like kind of into reading the comments on this one because it's a lot of talk about the sexuality, which is honestly, as far as I'm concerned, not even a relevant factor in this entire story, literally at all. It has nothing to do with anything in the grand scheme of things. You just don't know your brother and put him in a situation. Oh. Oh my God, I have to copy. This is too much work to find his reply, but I kind of want to go through. I kind of want to do it. Oh yeah, I literally haven't even scrolled far enough for the Control F to find, the name. If we can't find it, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Well, yeah, ultimately, this has nothing to do with anybody's sexuality at all, and it's just simply you don't know anything about someone you claimed to know, be very close to. You probably should, if you want to salvage this relationship with your brother, work on that, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's the asshole. I'm gonna agree with Reddit, and I think that's where I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I found his comment. Oh, it was worth it. Somebody asked, info, what do you think asexual means? And the OP wrote, doesn't have sex, question mark? Yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap up right there. That's where we're gonna go. We're gonna leave. If you didn't know, that's not what it means. Here is a lovely video all about it. Thank you guys for hanging out today and spending your time with me with another actual short stream. Let me go get the hugs that I might have missed. I love that he added the question mark because he even knew. Like, no, I don't. I don't know. And that doesn't even matter. You don't know your brother is more important. Work on that. Genuinely, maybe work on that. You should work on that. Lonely Origin. I got that one. I got that one. And James, bring it in for a hug. Get in here for the hugs, dudes. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for oh, you just got the hug. That's awesome. Thanks for helping me determine who is and is not an asshole. Again, if you did get the moral of the story from that last story, their sexuality was literally an irrelevant part of the entire thing. But the guy was so misguided. Check out that video. And also check out the video on my main channel, Afterlife Episode 1. And I'll see you guys all Soon, no, there is nowhere for you to download the Afterlife mod pack. We never make any of the mod packs for any of the series we do available until we're not doing it. We wait until the series is done to ever release it, if we do, but we don't always release it because some of them are custom made and so are not things that are available to you and won't be, unfortunately. But especially we don't release things while we're in the middle of the series. It would only be after anyway. But thank you guys for hanging out. Oh, I gotta go pick a person for you to raid. I'm gonna go pick a person. Say nothing. Don't give me names of people. I'm gonna send you all off. I like this keyboard. I can't wait till I get the little soft thing for the keys. And then it's gonna be, ooh, over for y'all. Over for all of y'all. But thank you guys for hanging. I'm probably gonna do another one of these streams again in the future, but for now, that's where we'll wrap up Am I the Asshole, and we'll do a couple Minecraft streams, we'll do Choices stream, and we'll do the unpacking stream all soon, I think, like this next week. But I'm gonna have you guys go raid Ant Frost, because he's chatting. We'll keep up the chatting vibes. And go be the absolute nicest people in his chat. If you don't know the rules, ask the mods, don't break them to find out. And go in there, bring in your good vibes. And thank you for your good vibes here today. Thanks for hanging. I'll be seeing you guys all Sunday. I don't stream on Saturdays, but I will be filming on Afterlife tomorrow. So I'm going to work on building my goal for Afterlife with my character not being able to be in light at all. My plan is to build a greenhouse, but out of tinted glass, so it's dark inside, and then have all my potted plants be dead. And I just hide in the shadows of my little house. And someone comes in with a little light in their hand, I'm going to go, Blood of Legends, thank you for subscribing. All right, dudes, I'll send you guys off, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.